Hi there, my name is Danielle and I'm going to be describing the 4 myofascial lines for you. We'll start off with the superficial back line. So it basically starts at the surface of the foot, well, plantar surface of the foot. Makes contact with the calf, the hamstrings, sacrum, erector spinae, wraps around your skull, and hits you smack dab in the forehead right above the eyebrows. Its opposing force is the superficial front line. It helps to create flexion of the spine. It's composed of mainly slow twitch muscle fibers because they're always working when you're standing or sitting. They burn off energy slowly. Helps with movements like this. Extension of the spine. Next up we have the superficial front line. It contains or connects the entire anterior portion together. Starts at the top of the feet and makes contact with the thighs, through your abdominal region, and in the side of the skull is where it ends. Its postural function is to balance out the superficial back line, so you're not always extending or flexing or whatever. It helps with extension of the knee and also to provide tensile support to the pubis, rib cage, and face. Its movement function is to help create flexion of the trunk, hips, extension of the knee, and dorsiflexion of the feet. It contains more fast twitch muscle fibers than the superficial back line in order to create sudden and jerky movements, I guess. So basically movements like this if you're getting in the ready position, and you'll notice it's a lot easier to bend down, touch your toes, rather than extension. Next up we have the lateral line. It mediates the front and back line. It brackets each side from the midpoint of the foot, around the outside of the ankle, up the lateral side of the leg and thigh, and passes along the trunk in a basket weave like area, and then around the shoulder to the skull, and in the region of the ear is where it ends or starts. It fixes the trunk and legs in a coordinated manner to basically prevent any buckling of the structure. The lateral line, it participates in any bending, flexion of the trunk, abduction of the hip, and eversion of the foot. Helps with movements like this. My crappy version of a cartwheel. Next up we have the spiral line. It helps to balance out all the planes. It loops around the body, joining each side of the skull across the upper back to oppose the shoulder and around the hips, and crosses at the navel and joins at the same hip. Helps to determine efficient knee tracking while you're walking. Also helps in twists and rotations and any lateral shifts in the body. Helps with eccentric and isometric contractions to basically steady the trunk and keep it from folding into collapse so you're not like glue. It just keeps it upright. It's good. Helps with things like twirling around. Dancers really need this one. Obviously I'm not a very good dancer. Next up we have the functional lines. They help with power and precision. They help with things like darts, precision, so also things like baseball. Basically use them in all sports. So the back line and then the front line. They have movement function, not postural function, and that's why they're unique.